if you don't know yet, I'm sure you don't, I'm a Ukrainian who left Ukraine and went to Sweden to study. Not I didn't go there. I didn't come here to study exactly, but I just came here and I got to study computer graphics. And so I was studying computer graphics. I've been studying for 2.5 years, and I was missing some classes, but I finally decided to completely stop going there. One, there are like two major problems with that. First is the education itself doesn't give you much. It's like you just go through assignments. It does give you deadlines, and so kind of makes you decide on a project, so it keeps you moving to some extent, but the teachers are not they're partly, we're learning only technical part, and there is no real artistry, and that's what I'm interested in, so it's kind of a mismatch. And I think that the industry itself is a very artistic one, and we don't get any knowledge about that. You kind of need to learn it by yourself. So I found spending time at classes kind of a waste. And another part is that I don't really like my classmates. Many people that I liked dropped out for the similar, I think, reason is that the education didn't feel that artistic. It was very technically focused. You do have to know how to do things technically, but it should be supported by some artistry. When I say artistry, I mean some knowledge. They basically, teachers don't require your things to make sense, in terms of story, in terms of entertainment. The whole industry is an entertainment industry, and we are not taught how to entertain and what is entertaining and what is good, what is bad. We don't get that at all. So you can be technically correct about but it's not entertaining. It doesn't have any meaning, and that's what I'm looking for the meaning. And the classmates, yeah, that's a big deal. Many classmates I liked dropped out, and people that are stayed in the class, they're just, I've been kind of mad at people that they are not kind of sharing the passion that I do. That was kind of my idea throughout this whole thing. How that's I feel something. I feel anger, I feel disgust, I feel like I'm in the wrong place, and those feelings don't really come from and I try to describe those feelings, and things that come out is that they're not my type of people. They're not passionate, they are very light-hearted about what they do. That's how I could describe it. And so, and I found out a lot. Let's talk about that. So since I was a Ukrainian, since I'm an Ukrainian student, I didn't get a chance to get support. So education here is completely free, and you get a support that covers like, I don't know, I would say like 65% of your expenses, 65% of at least my expenses. And I never had it because I was not privileged enough. At least I got to study, that's good, and never had it. And recently we've got an update. I'm finishing my education, like I have 6 months left. I'm 2.5 years in, and I have 1 semester left. And only now, from the 1st of January, it's just turned 2nd January, we've got a chance, Ukrainians, to apply for the support, and we can get it. And so today I opened the website where you apply for it, and then I started like, okay, I missed many courses and I was not sure if I'm even gonna be able to get it. And I opened the website and I chose my program, and I kind of like, I looked at it and I said, okay, so this is the period that I have to study, and this is the period that I have to pass, and this is the courses that will happen. And I was looking at the scores, and the first thought that I had, I planned to miss it. I said that I don't like the people, and that's why and the education itself is kind of sucky, so I think that it's a waste, so I should kind of like, okay, I better spend my time somewhere else and do something else. And I opened it and I felt really weird because I was looking at it, and the first thing that I felt, it was like, maybe I can join it actually and just pass through, and I get the support, and it just clicked for me. I never thought about, I mean, it was very, very obvious, and I kind of knew about it, but I never actually felt it. You know about things, but when it happens to you, you get it for real. And I opened it and I realized that, yeah, like, why would I even risk anything? Like, there is like payments. You actually get paid pretty much a lot for just studying and passing your courses. And if you don't pass, you don't pass. You fail, and not getting paid for just passing is kind of unsafe, and it's not cool. You want to live, right, your life, and it's really nice that you have support. And I kind of stared at it, and for a moment, like, oh yeah, maybe I can join them, and even if I don't want to really put myself into the work, I might just just do whatever to pass. And I really felt that kind of feeling that these people might get, because I was never about the degree, because for me, degree in this industry, it doesn't make any sense. They always saying that degree doesn't give you a job, and that's true. So for me, degree was never something that I could touch and I could grab it, and I thought even for a second that I needed. No, like, really no. And I never had the support that if I passed my classes, I would get money for it, because I just passed the classes and I have my student support. So the reason I was studying was actually for the study. It was never about the degree. I never cared about it. It was never about the money that I would get from passing the course, the courses. There was only the substance of the thing drove me, you know. And when it didn't drive me, I just didn't do it. Of course, there was like the idea of getting a degree. It's kind of cool, but it kind of, after the first year, it just faded away when I realized what I have to do, what steps do I actually need to take to get somewhere. And I'm like, all right, this course just doesn't bring me anything. Like, degree, I don't care. I don't have any money from that. So I didn't do it. So I kind of let it go. And I focused on myself, and I focused on the things that I thought were more reasonable to do to achieve a certain goal. And so I sat there today and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I would probably not do shit too, you know. I would also be kind of playing safe. I would also be less it's like a thing. It may not have happened. I never know. I kind of passionate about it, so I think that it would happen anyway, and I would have to go through those things and do things that I don't like still, because I would want to get paid, you know, like everyone else. But it was never about the money at all. Like, and as soon as I felt that I may get paid for it, and playing safe was or playing it at the minimum just to pass was a thing, I felt like I can justify all of those people. Like, yeah, that's just how it is. And you know, and I learned about myself that everything that I was doing, I'll repeat, I was kind of doing for the substance, for the sake of doing it. Of course, I was thinking about the job that I might get at some point, but it was really much followed by the even the bigger idea of creating something, you know. And so, and what happened after 1 year studying there, I applied to an online school in animation, and I studied there. And you know what revelation I came to the same moment is that I became the one who passes the classes, just to pass and go through. That's how it is. I started paying for school, and I was kind of combining with my university, and it was a really tough classes. So I had to kind of like put myself a lot into it. And so over time, I really liked it at the start. I learned a lot, but then it became tougher on myself, and it became much less exciting, and it became more like a job for me. And I kind of became a kind of I tried to come up with some analogy, but kind of I became trapped by my goal of getting a job. So I studied to get a job, and to get a job I had to kind of go through those classes, and I had to pass them. That's as similar as this. Like, I have classes, and by the end of each class I get a shot. I get a finished shot, an animation shot, and your portfolio is consists of like 3-4 shots. And my plan was to finish the school, to finish 3-4 shots, to have them in my portfolio and get a job, to apply and get a job. And I basically became the same passing guy. I was like my last 2-3 terms, like last 9 months, and maybe even before, I was not doing the best work. I was doing the bare minimum that I was satisfied with to pass the class. And I was working hard, and I was going through myself to kind of make those animations just very much. Like, I hated it with my whole self, but I knew that I pay for this school and I have to go through this pain and finish those assignments. And I got to finish one assignment, then I failed the class, and because I kind of didn't get myself to do it, I was very mentally broke after my last assignment. And what happened in the last assignment, I failed again. That's what happened. I failed again. I completed the class and I have a complete animation, and I kind of still consider it to be a passing animation, but my teacher thinks otherwise. I'm pretty sure that it's very decent animation. And he didn't let me through to go to the next class, that I was not sure about, like if I ever wanted to go to the next class. And I was saying like, yeah, I asked him, he didn't pass me, and then I said like, look, actually I think that I kind of have to pass here. And he said again like, no man, you're not, your work is unfinished. And whatever, at this point I kind of just accepted things as they are. Like, he considers my shot unpolished, and I think that it's good enough for passing, just to counter opinions. And I decided to not fight for it, and it kind of made me feel free from like the whole school thing. And I decided to not retake the class and actually like think like, why do I have to go through all of this pain and kind of make those assignments work? Why I don't get the excitement I used to? And yeah, I realized that I became that person. I was just passing. I was not trying to get the greatest work. Like, I was, I was trying to pass. I was not fighting for the best work. I was fighting for passing the thing and like getting another shot in my portfolio. I think the same way as I considered my classmates to just work their things through to get CSN and get bachelor's degree. I mean, you do something on the way. They also do something on the way. They still do some work. I don't deny that. But where this kind of work comes from, and how good is this work? Do you want to push it? Are you actually into this work? Are you ready to challenge yourself? Are you interested in challenging yourself? Because every time I wanted to challenge my classmates, including myself, no one really wanted to do it. That's how it was. Just I was trying to challenge, and people didn't like it. And it felt like I'm in the wrong environment. I wish someone was challenging myself. I want to be at the place where I feel like I have to catch up, and I kind of fear something, or but people just fearing even more than me around, and to get something I have to convince people, and there's no excitement, there is no thinking of the payoff. People are probably just focused on getting through, passing the grade, getting their money, just to live. I think it's a fair point. So I kind of now understand them a little bit more, but it still doesn't make the situation better. That's kind of the thing. I still don't like the situation. And yeah, that's my kind of whole yapping for today. I can summarize it by saying that, yeah, I I definitely realized more today. I got some insights about like people I was not happy um, about myself, that I am the one who is passing, and I want to be the opposite. I want to be the one who is challenging and pushing, and really eager to push. And I think that this challenging comes from the meaning. Like, I cannot challenge myself, to build the house. Like, why do I need to build a house, for example? Like, is there anything important for me about building a house? Or, like, I don't know, making 100 pull-ups? I don't know, I'm just saying very um, um, weird analogies, but it's just like, it is kind of the same, because if I have no meaning, if I don't create the meaning behind the challenging part, I don't want to challenge myself, and that's what I'm kind of like. When I tried to challenge my classmates, I was like, look, that's what we can get, or like, oh, this is how our thing, our film, our game could play out, or what about that, that's kind of, then this would be different. And you kind of do it because you're interested in it, you're interested in the result. The result is important for you. The ideas, the ability to be creative, to create something, and it has meaning, and people that would play the game, watch a movie, they would kind of enjoy it, and it kind of makes sense, like everything that is going on, besides being, I don't know, beautifully rendered and having good textures, beyond that, like those things would support the idea. And I'm like, oh yeah, what's the idea? And I'm always kind of pushing for the idea, and so, and what's the idea behind the house? I don't know. What's the idea behind the 100 pull-ups? I don't know. Those challenging things would be justified when you say like, oh yeah, that house would be for orphan children that I care about, and I know those children that don't have a house, and I have, the ability to give them home, and it would be meaningful for me and for them. Or like doing 100 pull-ups, I would kind of reinforce the idea of sport for obese people and kids overall, and sport is great, and I would raise some money by beating some, I don't know, beating some record, 100 pull-ups, whatever. And so, where it comes from, like, challenging things should be justified. They have to have meaning to get person to do it. And so as I said, I was doing my assignments to, and I was passing them just to pass because I didn't really want to challenge myself because I didn't see anything beyond that. Like, oh yeah, I did that shot, and what? I put it in my demo reel and it looks good. Like, and what? You know, did it serve any purpose? Does it feel meaningful to me? Does it feel meaningful to people that will watch it? You know, and that's where the truth comes up. Like, yeah, no, it's not important to me. So I'm in the phase where I'm trying to figure out what is important to me and what can I come up with to challenge myself that would be meaningful to me, and it would still be something similar to what I've been doing, you know, animation. What kind of animation can I do to make it meaningful for me, make it meaningful for others, give it a clear idea that would work, you know. Another kind of like frightening part of that is that I have to do it alone because I didn't gather the passionate people that I was hoping for, you know. And I wish I had like a group of people that were like also kind of like, oh yeah, let's do that, oh let's do this, and they would challenge me, and they're like, oh, Kirilo, can you do this? What about this? What do you think of this? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not sure. And they're like, wait, Kirilo, I think that you can do it. Or like, okay, if you can do it, what we can do instead? Where is your limit and how we can push it? You know, maybe I have more potential, but kind of like people grow in the environments. Uh, and I wish I had that environment where I could grow, and because no one ever wanted to push me to create something meaningful. So that's yeah, that's it. Did you get what I say? I hope so. Okay guys, thank you for listening.